Welcome friends, here's how to create a fun and easy burlap wreath with a sign.
Welcome, scaredy cats.
For our kitty burlap wreath, we will begin by taking strips of black burlap. This is about 3 inches wide and it's material I got at Joann Fabrics. And we're going to start at an angle and we're going to wrap this around to cover up the hay wreath. The hay wreath I got at Joann Fabrics. We're going to pin it in the front so it doesn't show up on the back. Leave the plastic on, that way it keeps your area clean, otherwise it's super messy. So the plastic actually helps out. And we're just gonna wrap it around like this until we go all the way around. I'm using florist pens and you can buy them by the pound at Hobby Lobby.
The number on it is 787499 if you're looking at hobbylobby.com. In one bag, there's enough pens to do all 3 burlap ribbon wreaths that we are creating in the month of July.
At the end here, we'll pin it, and then I'll go around and clip some of these extra strings off.
I buy 6-inch wide yard rolls at craftoutlet.com.
If you have places that are unraveling, take fingernail polish. I'm using clear, and I can just go over the edges like this, and that will keep it from fraying.
Let's put our cat picture on top.
We're not going to glue it down yet, and the cool thing about this is it already has a hanger on the back. If you're making your own sign, the sign is 10.5 inches round. And I went to center my design and I'm just going to mark where my lines are in case it moves. For right now, I'm not going to glue this down.
My goal on this wreath is to add black, burgundy, and orange, and I want to have burgundy and orange stripes.
So I've taken a piece of parchment paper and made it 12-inch squared. Divided it into 8 equal parts. That way I can find out where my stripes will be. For this, I'm just going to center it and I'm just looking to see that it's fairly close. I'm just marking this so I know where my stripes will be.
These lines will divide the orange and burgundy. All of the burlap pieces have been cut into 6-inch squares and we will add them to the top row first.
I'm taking a square burgundy piece of burlap ribbon.
We want the sewn edge to be at the bottom right. So when we fold it over, the frayed edge is on top when we make that triangle down. But then when we fold it over again, the frayed edge will be hidden. If there's a frayed edge on the left side, we're not going to be concerned about that because that will hide underneath the sign.
Fold it like a diamond, then make a triangle shape. And then we're going to take this corner in and fold it down to the bottom like this. To keep it from unraveling, this part will be stuck underneath the sign and this part will be seen. And then we'll go ahead and put the sign down to see how we want that to look. And that looks pretty good. So this is how much it will overlap on this line here, maybe a 1/2 inch. Sometimes it's easier to stick it through the material first and then attach it. I got my line here at the bottom. So that way I have a nice clean edge. This side you can see is more messy. And then we will make sure this goes on this side of the line. See how this line will split? And I'm pushing this all the way down. Okay, now I'll go to the black. So I will fold this one, bring this in, and I can start to bring my black in between here.
The pattern on top will be burgundy, orange, 2 blacks, and then that will repeat all the way around the top.
Since we're placing the sign in the center, we want the floral pins to be on the outside of the circle, so that will help line it up too.
Now for the moment of truth. Let's see how the sign will look in the center. I'm not going to glue it down yet. I'm just checking to make sure that it's going to fit nicely in the middle. It does. Let's move on to the side.
Since the side has a larger circumference than the upper part of the wreath, I'm using 3 black burlap pieces of ribbon instead of 2 To keep our clean edges where the burlap ribbons meet together, the sewn edge is now on the left bottom side. So when we fold it over, the clean edge is on top. I'm just sandwiching them in between the other burlap pieces. Otherwise, everything else stays the same.
Now I'm using a level, it's a 9.5 inch level from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just making sure that this is level.
I will take over from here. Hey, scaredy cats, I want to be your dog. Backside of the sign, I'm taking Deacon Fabri-Tac glue, applying a bead of glue all the way around the edge, sticking it back down in the center, leveling it out, and letting it dry for a good 15 minutes, and it is ready to hang.